What if I told you that one man can sit in freezing ice for nearly 2 hours, run barefoot through the snow, and enter water so cold that most people would struggle to stay in it for even a few minutes? This is Wim Hof, but he is not just an extreme athlete. He is known around the world as the Iceman. And his story begins with a question that sounds almost impossible. Can the human body learn to control what scientists once believed was completely beyond our control? Wim Hof believes the answer is yes. Just go into the ice bath, he says. It's so simple to be happy. But when you are standing beside a freezing pool of ice water, with cold rain falling around you, the idea does not feel simple at all. The water is brutally cold, and yet Wim Hof calmly steps forward. Go down slowly and surely. Follow your breath. Then he enters the ice. No panic, no screaming, just controlled breathing. For Wim, the ice is not an enemy, it is a teacher. He believes that by facing extreme cold and controlling the breath, people can learn to deal with stress in a completely different way. And when you watch him sitting calmly in freezing water, it is difficult not to wonder, how is this even possible? Wim Hof's fascination with the cold began when he was still a teenager. At a young age, he encountered a thin layer of ice covering the water. Instead of walking away, he went in. And something happened. He felt a powerful connection with himself. The cold was painful, shocking and frightening, but at the same time, it seemed to unlock something deep inside him. That experience stayed with him. Over the years, Wim continued exposing himself to freezing temperatures. Slowly, through decades of experimentation, he developed his own approach. Today, the practice is known as the Wim Hof method. It combines breathing techniques, cold exposure, and mental focus. The goal is to go deeper into the body's natural physiology and learn how to remain calm when the body is under extreme stress. For Wim, the cold is not simply about suffering. He compares it to training a muscle. The more carefully you train, the stronger you can become. And according to Wim, controlled exposure to cold can train the cardiovascular system and teach the body how to respond to stress. His beliefs have attracted millions of people around the world. His method has been studied by scientists, discussed in documentaries, featured in books, and practiced by people looking for new ways to challenge their minds and bodies. But before the world knew him as the Iceman, Wim was simply a man searching for answers. And eventually, that search took him to places most people would never dare to go. At his home, the atmosphere is surprisingly relaxed. It feels less like a traditional house and more like a campsite surrounded by nature. But the man living there is anything but ordinary. Wim has spent years running in freezing temperatures wearing almost nothing. Sometimes, he has walked barefoot through the snow. Sometimes, he has challenged himself in temperatures far below zero. And sometimes, he has entered freezing water and stayed there for an astonishing amount of time. Over the years, he has achieved numerous extreme endurance records. He has stood surrounded by ice for nearly 2 hours. He has run long distances in freezing conditions. And he has even attempted challenges near the Arctic Circle with almost no protection from the cold. But one of his most dangerous experiences happened beneath the ice. During an underwater challenge, Wim lost his way beneath the frozen surface. He was supposed to travel a certain distance beneath the ice, but he missed the opening. Suddenly, he found himself moving farther than planned, searching for a way back to the surface. For a moment, the situation became incredibly dangerous. But Wim says that during experiences like this, something inside him changed. He lost his fear of death, and that completely transformed the way he viewed extreme challenges. This is what makes Wim Hof so fascinating. He does not simply challenge the cold, he challenges the limits of fear itself. Scientists have long believed that the human body has powerful, automatic systems designed to protect us. When we become cold, our blood vessels react. Our heart works harder. Our bodies attempt to protect vital organs. But Wim believes that through specific training, breathing, and mental focus, people may be able to influence some of these responses. He compares the process to strength training. When you lift weights, your muscles adapt to the stress. Wim believes that carefully controlled exposure to cold can also train the body to become more resilient. But for him, the most important part is not simply surviving the cold. It is learning to remain calm while the body is screaming that something is wrong. And that lesson goes far beyond ice baths, because stress is everywhere. People experience stress at work, at home, in relationships, in moments of fear, and sometimes inside their own minds. Wim believes that if people can learn to control their breathing and remain calm during intense physical discomfort, they may also become better at handling the challenges of everyday life. His vision is much bigger than simply breaking records. He believes that humans should learn more about their own minds and bodies. He believes people may have more control than they realize. And he wants his message to reach people across the world. Over time, his ideas became a global movement. Documentaries were made about his life. Books were written about his methods. Millions of people began following his journey online, and people from all over the world started experimenting with controlled breathing and cold exposure. Some came to his workshops, others began with simple cold showers at home. For many people, the challenge is not the ice itself. The real challenge is the mind. The moment the cold water touches the body, the instinct is to escape. The breathing becomes faster. The heart begins to race. The mind starts shouting, "Get out." But Wim teaches people to slow down, to breathe, to observe the discomfort instead of immediately running from it. And that is perhaps the most powerful idea behind his entire philosophy. The cold becomes a mirror. It shows you how quickly your mind reacts to fear, and then it gives you a chance to respond differently. After spending time with Wim, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. This man does not seem to live life halfway. He throws himself completely into every experience. He embraces the cold. He embraces the discomfort. He embraces the uncertainty. And he believes that life should be lived with energy, courage, and love. For Wim, the message is simple. We have a brain, we have a body, we have a heart. And perhaps we have never been properly taught how powerful they can be when they work together. The world often teaches people to avoid discomfort. But Wim Hof teaches the opposite. He believes that controlled discomfort can become a teacher. The cold can teach patience. The breath can teach control. Fear can teach awareness. And the mind can become stronger when it is challenged. Of course, the cold is not something to underestimate. Freezing temperatures can be extremely dangerous. And extreme cold exposure should never be approached carelessly. But Wim Hof's story continues to fascinate people. Because it forces us to ask an incredible question. Have we underestimated what the human body is capable of? For decades, Wim has continued searching for the answer. From frozen lakes to snow-covered mountains, from breathing exercises to some of the most extreme endurance challenges on Earth, he has spent his life pushing against the boundaries of human possibility, and perhaps the most remarkable thing about him is that he does not see himself as a superhero. He sees himself as a human being who discovered something inside himself, something that he believes may exist inside all of us. The ability to face fear, the ability to control our breathing, the ability to remain calm in the middle of chaos, and the courage to step into the cold. Because according to Wim Hof, the cold is not always something to fear. Sometimes, it can be the thing that teaches you how to feel alive. This is the story of Wim Hof, the Iceman. A man who turned freezing temperatures into a challenge, fear into focus, and the limits of the human body into a question that the world is still trying to answer. How far can a human being really go? Perhaps the answer is much farther than we ever imagined.